Project denials include a casino in Coney Island. That idea shot down yesterday, and 3 proposals for casinos in Manhattan all shot down, including having a casino in Times Square. It's up to the New York State Gaming Commission to decide which sites get the licenses. Back to you, Bianca.
All right, Stephanie, thanks for the update. And developing right now, we are just hours to go before a potential government shutdown, and lawmakers in Washington appear to be no closer to a possible deal on the table. Fox 5's Sharon Crowley is in the newsroom with the very latest on where last-minute negotiations stand right now. Hey, Sharon.
Bianca, things are not good. Republicans and Democrats remain at odds this morning, and the deadline to shut down the government is midnight tonight. Now, the Senate is expected to take another shot at trying to get a short-term extension passed today that would fund the government and prevent furloughs. However, Democrats are expected to block that, making a shutdown almost inevitable. On his way to Quantico to speak to military brass this morning, President Trump talked to reporters about the possibility of a shutdown.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally. And they want to give them full health care benefits.
Well, Democratic leaders emerged from the West Wing of the White House yesterday empty-handed and casting blame. Republicans want a short-term deal that continues the current funding as is while these negotiations continue. Democratic leaders, however, under pressure to stand up to President Trump, are demanding more money for public broadcasting and a renewal of the COVID-era health insurance subsidies.
Government shuts down. It's because Republicans have decided to shut the government down and hurt the American people.
So when a lapse in funding does occur, the law requires agencies to close down, and non-essential employees would be furloughed. Those who stay on the job wouldn't get paid until after that shutdown ends. So, Bianca, this has serious consequences.
Absolutely does. All right, Sharon, thank you for the update. Meanwhile, early this morning, President Trump joined Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth for an address before top U.S. military officials in Virginia. Hegseth spoke at a Marine Corps base there, and he announced some new directives for troops and their training, including gender-neutral and male-level fitness standards. He also said the department is loosening disciplinary rules and weakening hazing protections to create a warrior ethos.
Preparing for war. This is a moment of urgency, mounting urgency. Enemies gather, threats grow. There is no time for games. We must be prepared. If we're going to prevent and avoid war, we must prepare now.
Well, Hegseth also asked military leaders to resign if they are against any of the new directives. And prosecutors are urging a judge to sentence Sean Diddy Combs to at least 11 years in prison. He's set to be sentenced on Friday after being convicted on prostitution-related charges. He was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors filed their pre-sentencing recommendations late Monday and argued that his crimes are serious and warrant longer jail time. Last week, Diddy argued for a sentence of 14 months. And to this update on our top story, a lockdown has just been lifted at Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst. That site is New Jersey's largest military facility, located about 20 miles from Trenton and 40 minutes from Philadelphia. In an earlier Facebook post, the base said all personnel were ordered to lock down and seek cover. We don't know yet what prompted that lockdown, but we're monitoring that situation. We're going to bring you more news as it comes in. All right, coming up, there are exactly 5 weeks to go until Election Day. We are checking out what the candidates in the race for mayor are up to on the campaign trail today. And then later, we're live at Yankee Stadium, where a new chapter in a storied rivalry begins tonight. We've got a preview of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series against the Red Sox. And Audrey also has a forecast. Hey, Audrey.
Well, good weather for that game tonight for sure. And for the next several days, Bianca, we have plenty of sunshine being found across parts of the area, some clouds and some others. We'll have variable skies today, and temperatures are going to warm up nicely. Right now, we're in the 70s. We're shooting for 80 degrees today. I'll have the details coming up.
Right now, for the very latest on the race to mayor, Andrew Cuomo is spending the day off the campaign trail. Meanwhile, at this hour, Zohran Mamdani is holding a press conference accusing Cuomo of soliciting donations from billionaires, many whom Mamdani says are associated with President Trump. Mamdani says if elected, Cuomo will push an agenda that would drive up living expenses for New Yorkers. Meanwhile, Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa has a busy schedule today. Currently, he is speaking at a rally opposing the 2025 Charter Revision Commission's proposals. They include an affordable housing, fast track, even year elections, and expedited land use reviews for smaller housing developments. Sliwa is scheduled to speak at 2 events in Queens later today. And for more on the mayor's race, tune in to Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote. You can catch that weeknights at 7 p.m. on the Fox Local app and at 11 p.m. on Fox 5, right after the 10 o'clock news. All right, coming up, the incredible story of a Long Island high schooler's recovery after breaking his neck at the beach. How the swift action of his friends helped save his life. And leaf peeping season could look different in the tri-state area this year, while this fall's color change may not be as intense as in years past. Welcome back. Well, YouTube is the latest company to settle a lawsuit with President Trump. The video platform has agreed to pay $24.5 million to the president, who sued the company for banning his account following the January 6th Capitol attack in 2021. Most of that settlement money will go to the Trust for the National Mall, as well as the construction of a new White House ballroom. That remaining money will be awarded to other parties listed in the case. This is the third settlement the president has made with the tech company over bans on his account. And some new tariffs on lumber could make it more expensive to remodel or furnish your home. The president announced yesterday the U.S. would begin charging a 10% tariff on foreign softwood lumber and timber, as well as a 25% tariff on kitchen cabinet, vanities, and upholstered wooden furniture. The rates will go into effect on October 14th. The president also says on January 1st that the tariffs on cabinets will rise to 50%, and tariffs on upholstered furniture will go up 30%. Meanwhile, the White House also announcing a 100% tariff on all movies filmed overseas. The president made that announcement on Truth Social, but did not say how or when the tariffs would be imposed. He initially threatened to impose that tariff on foreign-produced films in May, saying at the time that other countries offer tax incentives that cause filmmakers to make their movies overseas. Meanwhile, a miraculous recovery after a near-death experience. A Long Island high schooler walking again after breaking his neck at the beach. His recovery is all thanks to the swift action of his friends. Fox 6's Judy Goldberg introduces us to the heroes.
A neck brace and a scar. 17-year-old Connor DeBow wears the reminders of a summer day that nearly ended his life.
I remember going in, having fun, dove in, didn't think anything of it, and then boom, right there.
The senior from Smithtown was swimming with friends at Gilgo Beach when he dove into a wave. He hit the sand and fractured his C4 vertebrae. He was temporarily paralyzed.
As soon as I hit the water, I tried moving. I'm like, oh my God, this couldn't budge at all.
Lifeguards were off duty, but his friends weren't.
He was face up, but his face was like bright red, and I don't think he could breathe for a little bit either. So we just got him up, and he was just like dead weight.
They dragged Connor to shore where police and paramedics took over.
The last thing I heard was, I'm paralyzed, I can't move, like in the water. Then that's when we knew, like, to just like lock in and get him out of the water.
Doctors fused his spine with 3 screws. He spent a week in the hospital. Now it's months of physical therapy and gratitude that grows by the day.
I'm thankful every day.
Connor didn't start his senior year the way he had hoped. He still can't drive and has limited use of his left hand. But he's here, and doctors say it's a miracle.
Hockey's always been Connor's life. He's on the bench for now, but hopes to return to it soon. For now, this is his motto.
What your mind can believe, your body can achieve.
Pain turned into a reminder of resilience. When the waves knock you down, you can get back up again. In Smithtown, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Well, the beautiful fall foliage we are used to seeing here in the tri-state may be much less impressive this year. The stretch of dry and warm weather we've experienced could change how the colors unfold. We've had months of below average rainfall, and that has left many trees stressed, which can cause them to turn brown and curl before color fully develops. The warmer temperatures we've seen also make it even worse. Experts say peak color is expected in the city closer to early November, but that may be shorter and less vibrant than usual. Let's turn out to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. Talking about that weather, we've experienced some very beautiful warm temperatures. Meteorologist Audrey Puente is at the Weather Center with more on all of this. Hey, Audrey.
Hi, Bianca and Naya. And it's that warm weather and dry weather that's going to hinder some of that fall color that you just spoke about. So today we're expecting another day with above average temperatures, and we'll have mixed sky with a variable cloudiness throughout the daytime hours. It looks like towards the north, though, we'll see more in the way of sunshine. Fall chill arrives tomorrow. Yes, for those of you that are waiting for some cooler temperatures, they're going to get here starting tonight, and we'll feel the difference tomorrow, especially when you step out the door in the morning. We're also watching the tropics. We have 2 storm systems that we're watching. We'll take a look at those coming up in the next half hour. Right now we're at 75 in White Plains, 74 in Central Park. We're finding 77 already in Islip, so nice and warm there. Same thing over towards Newark, 73 in Poughkeepsie, and we're at 69 up towards Monticello. A lot of these temperatures are actually warmer than our normal highs for this time of year. Our dew points are reflecting a very comfortable and dry atmosphere in place, so it's going to be relatively nice as we go through the afternoon here. Winds a little breezy at times. They will become blustery tomorrow, adding to the chill that we'll be experiencing with those fall-like temperatures for your Wednesday. In the meantime, we're dealing with cloud cover here. We can see the kind of sort of a break off to the north here. So Sullivan, Ulster, Dutchess counties, you're faring the best as far as sunshine is concerned. And we're seeing more in the way of clouds in and around the city and points southward across New Jersey. We're on the northern fringe of a system that is bringing wet weather across the mid-Atlantic. This is actually the outer bands or kind of tropical moisture coming in from Hurricane Imelda as well as Hurricane Humberto, which is sitting off the southeast coast. Behind this, though, we do see a nice dry slot here from the Great Lakes down towards the Gulf Coast. That's waiting in the wings here to push into our region. But once these 2 hurricanes actually make their way eastward, which is expected later this afternoon, we'll gradually see the clouds erode away, and this drier weather will come into play here as we move on for the next several days. So here it plays up on our future cast. We see that we do have the cloud deck really from central New Jersey on southward, more in the way of sunshine to the north. By 6 o'clock tonight, though, we should see more in the way of sun across New York, New York City, as well as Long Island. And it looked like a really nice sunset as we go into the evening. Then tonight, we're going mostly clear. Again, those 2 systems out in the Atlantic will be pushing out to the east, giving us a break here from the cloud cover. And tomorrow, we'll bask in sunshine across much of the northeast here. We're expecting beautiful conditions. The big talk tomorrow will be the drop in temperatures. We're looking at highs only in the 60s, so definitely going to feel fall-like across the region. And it looks like we will stay that way for a couple of days before things begin to warm up by the end of the week. Again, high pressure will keep things nice and dry for us for the next several days. So today we're looking at variable clouds, high temperature 80 degrees in Central Park, a little bit warmer inland and maybe off to the north where we'll see more sunshine. Then tonight, check out this low. We're dropping down to 54 in the city, 40s in some of the suburbs, and we'll also be windy. We'll have our winds picking up here out of the northeast, gusting to 25 miles per hour. It'll continue to be windy for tomorrow. So that high of 68 will feel closer to the upper 50s at times. So you want to be bundled up tomorrow. It's still chilly on Thursday. Friday, we start to get a little bit milder, and then it looks good for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine, and then we're back to the 80s by Sunday. Bianca, over to you.
Looks stunning, Audrey. Thanks so much. To this now, Coney Island icon receiving more recognition. Dino's Wonder Wheel in Coney Island is being added to the New York State Historic Business Preservation Registry. This registry honors businesses that have operated in the state for more than 50 years. The Wonder Wheel is already designated as a New York City landmark and on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built back in 1920, stands 150 feet tall, and has operated more than 35 million rides since it opened. Well, next at noon, many Americans say there's one thing that they need more than a good vacation, a good night of sleep. We are taking a look at a new survey showing just how badly people want to catch up on their sleep. All right, some health news now. A lot of Americans hitting the snooze button on their vacation time. A survey from Amerisleep.com found more than a third of Americans actually have used paid time off just to catch up on sleep. 38% of respondents also say that they would be interested in taking a vacation designed to improve their sleep. Millennials were ranked as the generation most likely to take paid time off to get more rest. Completely understand. Well, a new study reveals there are almost always warning signs before someone suffers from a heart attack or a stroke. Some researchers analyzed data from more than 600,000 cases looking at the 4 biggest risk factors: blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and smoking. They found that in more than 99% of the cases, patients had at least one of the risk factors. Doctors say this is significant as it proves patients are able to manage the risk factors for almost all cases of heart disease. That study was published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. And a brand new experimental medication could successfully treat back pain, and it's made from marijuana. A study by a German drug maker says this new medication contains low levels of THC, which is the active ingredient in marijuana. 800 patients with back pain were asked to take the drug over 12 weeks. Researchers found a nearly 2-point reduction in pain and improvements in movement and sleep. The drug maker says that none of the patients in the trial showed any sign of drug abuse, withdrawal, or dependence. Meanwhile, ChatGPT now offering instant checkout with its chatbot. OpenAI says the new feature will allow users to purchase products in the chat without having to leave the app. ChatGPT users can currently only buy items from Etsy shops in the chat, but the company plans to add more than 1 million vendors through a partnership with Shopify. Some of the shops will include Glossier, Skims, Steve Madden, and a whole lot more. OpenAI says ChatGPT will receive a small fee from merchants from each transaction. And McDonald's bringing back a classic game with a chance for players to win $1 million. McDonald's Monopoly game returns Monday at participating locations. The chain's also introducing digital game pieces on its app in addition to the classic game pieces. Along with a $1 million prize, you can also win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee and a dream vacation. Meanwhile, next at noon, playoff baseball is back in the Bronx tonight. We are live at Yankee Stadium ahead of the first pitch. Game 1 of the wild card series against the Red Sox is just hours away. Plus, from foot surgeon to shoe designer, how one woman is putting her best foot forward with a luxury shoe line that pairs fashion with function.
We know we can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop & Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop.
All right, it is 12:30 right now. Welcome back to the noon. We've got a whole lot more coming up here, starting with this. Playoff baseball in the Bronx happening tonight. We got a live report from Yankee Stadium as the team gets set for Game 1 of the wild card series tonight. And then secondly, we're going to introduce you to a podiatric surgeon turned shoe designer who's making sure her shoes are as stylish as they are comfortable. A very interesting story behind here. But first, we got some breaking news on future MTA fares. Now, the MTA board has voted to approve proposed fare hikes. The subway and bus space fare that's going to go up 10 cents to $3 beginning January 4th of 2026. The 7-day unlimited subway and bus passes will be capped at $35. Metro cards will no longer be available for sale after December 31st of this year. All right, speaking about that, maybe it's just time to take a walk instead today because the weather outside is absolutely stunning. Better enjoy that before we are forced to go underground because it's too cold.
Right.
So, you know, I propose before the fare hike, might as well just get your steps in outside. It's nice.
I've been doing it as much as possible. We have the sun setting earlier, too, so we're going to start to lose daylight here. You want to get out and enjoy it for sure, Bianca. And today's the day to do it. Temperatures are very comfortable across the tri-state area. In fact, much of the Northeast is experiencing some above average readings. We're in the 70s now across New England. Same thing in Central Park at 74, 73 down in Atlantic City. Philadelphia closing in on 80 degrees as of this lunchtime hour here. So taking a look at the satellite and radar, we don't have any rain here across the region, but we do have a cloud deck that's kind of streaming in overhead. That's helping to filter some of the sunshine across parts of the region, but we're expecting these clouds to kind of move further south and then east, allowing for more sun later this afternoon, and that will give us a nice spike in our temperatures before the sun sets later on this evening. We can see there are some showers, though, off towards our south, really around, let's say, areas south of Atlantic City down towards Cape May. That's the northern fringe of tropical moisture that's been streaming into the southeastern states here over the last couple of days. It's courtesy of these two hurricanes. We have Imelda as well as Humberto, which we've been watching over the last couple of days. Imelda just became a hurricane earlier, but right now, actually, we're over Gabrielle. We're going to Humberto. Humberto is actually at 80 miles per hour, so it has diminished in intensity. In fact, on Saturday, it was at a Category 5 status, but now it's at a Category 1. It is passing west of Bermuda, which is located right here. That's good news for the tiny island. They've had some high surf as well as the eastern half of the nation, or rather the east coast here on the U.S. But this storm is expected to pass north of the island and then gradually diminish in intensity as we go further on into the next 24 to 48 hours. Now over to Imelda. This one is of a more interest here because it's brought a lot of rainfall across the southeastern states, and this one is expected to intensify. Right now it's at a Category 1 hurricane status. That just happened earlier today, and it is located west of Bermuda or southwest, but now it is forecast to increase to a Category 2 storm and may possibly make landfall on the island of Bermuda. Aaron earlier this season, as well as Humberto, both bypassed Bermuda, but this one looks like it might make a direct hit because right now Bermuda is right in the center of the cone here, and this will be passing east of the island and then eventually diminishing in intensity as we move further on into the end of the week. So for us, it's much quieter here. We just have that cloud cover here, the northern fringe of Imelda, so that's why we're seeing the hazy sun, or rather the filtered sunshine across the region. Tonight we'll see more in the way of sunshine before it sets this evening, and then the clouds erode away and we're going mostly clear by tomorrow morning. Plenty of sunshine as we go into Wednesday. Big change though for tomorrow is that our temperatures are going to take a big drop. We're going into the 60s for highs, making it feel more fall-like across the region. We are officially in the fall season, but it's definitely been feeling like summer over the last few days. So that sunshine will be courtesy of high pressure, which will nose its way down from Canada. That will keep things dry for us again on Thursday. In fact, we have a dry stretch of weather that's going to take us right into the end of the week. So today we're looking at highs in the 80s. Enjoy these numbers because they'll be dramatically colder tomorrow. Tonight we drop back into the 50s in the city, 40s in the suburbs. So very chilly start to the day tomorrow, and we're only going for a high of about 68 in Central Park. Now factor in a gusty wind up to 25 miles per hour. It will feel closer to the upper 50s. The fall chill remains on Thursday, and then we'll slowly warm it up just in time for the upcoming weekend. That's when we like our warm and nice weather.
I know. It's so beautiful, especially on the weekend. Very great gift that you're giving us,
Enjoy.
Audrey. Thanks so much. All right, well, it is a huge night in the Bronx. Game 1 in the Yankees wildcard series with the Red Sox. Fox 5's Tina Cervastio live at the stadium for us with a preview. Tina, this heated rivalry continues.
You got it, Bianca. The most storied rivalry in sports, arguably, will be happening tonight, right here, right behind me, inside Yankee Stadium, when the New York Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox in their Game 1 of their American League Wild Card Series. But this rivalry in the postseason has actually been few and far between over the last quarter of a century. So as we take a look at the Yankees working out here yesterday at the stadium, think about this. The last time the Yankees and Red Sox played each other in the postseason, it was 2021. That was when the AL wild card was just one game, winner take all, and the Red Sox won that game. However, the last time the Yankees actually beat the Red Sox in a postseason playoff series, that goes back to 2003, 22 years ago in the ALCS. Oh, it was historic and infamous, that series, including a brawl in Game 3. Then in Game 7, in the bottom of the 11th inning, it was Aaron Boone who hit the game-winning solo home run to send the Yankees to the World Series. Well, now the manager, and while he doesn't talk about it much anymore, Boone knows the significance.
It's Red Sox Yankees that get your attention, and I would throw it right in the best rivalries in all of sports, and obviously a lot of history there. So excited to be a part of it, and hopefully we get the better of them this go around.
But Boston comes into Yankee Stadium after dominating the regular season series, going 9-4 against the Yanks. Boston will start their eighth tonight. Garrett Crochet, he was 3-0 versus the Yanks this year. And Yankee superstar Aaron Judge, he has struggled a little against him, going 3 for 15 with 11 strikeouts. But 2 of those hits were home runs. The Yankees, though, they have their ace on the mound as well. Max Fried, who had a stellar 1.96 ERA against Boston this year. And Fried will be leaning on his playoff experience. He pitched in 20 postseason games when he played for the Atlanta Braves.
I think any experience you can use to your advantage. It's all about how you learn from it and how you're able to kind of use that experience to kind of go forward. So, I'll obviously be leaning on that, but this is its own game. This is its new thing, new season, new circumstances, so really excited for that.
This is a best-of-3 series. All 3 games, if needed, will be played right here at Yankee Stadium. First pitch is 6 p.m., and the gates open for fans at 4:30 p.m. Reporting live in the Bronx, I'm Tina Cervasio. Bianca, back to you in the studio.
Absolutely, Tina. We're wishing the Yankees the very best. Meanwhile, next at noon, she's a Latina executive who nearly lost her life earlier this year. Author Melissa Gonzalez joins us with the powerful story that changed how she defines success and discusses her new book, The Purpose Pivot. Stay tuned for this. Well, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are introducing you to a woman who is breaking barriers for Latino women and sending an important message about balancing health with career success. Melissa Gonzalez is the author of an upcoming book, The Purpose Pivot, How Dynamic Leaders Put Vulnerability and Intuition into Action. These two are incredibly great things we got to talk about. She's joining me now in studio to tell us more about this book and more about her story. Melissa, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Take us back to, I think it was a day in January that your whole life completely flipped upside down and changed you, possibly for the better. Tell us about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So it was January 2024. I was across the country on a business trip, away from my family, and I was woken up out of my sleep in excruciating pain, as if I was in full-blown labor. I called my husband. I called a colleague who was staying in the hotel with me, who happened to be online shopping at 3 a.m. And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I don't think so." Fast forward, I was rushed to the ER. I woke up at 3. At the ER by 5. By 1 p.m. I was in emergency surgery. And what happened was my intestines completely twisted 365 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
It was trapping my blood flow, my ability to go to the bathroom, and basically the decision was, we can try to relieve you and fly you home, but you can go into septic shock.
Oh my goodness.
And in those moments, everything flashes in front of you of the decision you need to make. And for me, it was really, I need to get home to my daughter, but I need to be around long term for my daughter. And when I shared that story personally, so many people started sharing their stories back with me. But the big thing is that I knew I wasn't myself, and I knew it for over a year. And I wrote down on a Post-it note, on January 10th, I'm going to do a Better You challenge for my gut health. I wrote that in December. And January 10th, the exact day that all of it happened.
So that's the intuition speaking, where it's almost like you should be listening to yourselves. What were some of the signs that you were going through that maybe you're saying, I'm not feeling myself, and maybe some signs that people and women, especially Latino women in business or in high positions of power, should be looking out for?
Yeah, so I felt sluggish, and I think, you know, women of A-type and all of that, like, we have energy, right? You're ready to go, go, go all the time, and I wasn't that person. Getting up in the morning was getting harder. I was feeling lethargic, lower energy because of, you know, that twisting that was happening. I could go almost a week without a bowel movement, and that happened a few weeks in a row, bloating, things like that. So I knew that I wasn't always a regular person, but it was at a different level. And I thought I needed a cleanse, you know, but it was much more serious than that, what my body was going through. My extremities, I have Raynaud's, they were acting up. So, but I think the fatigue was something I really shouldn't have ignored because it was so unlike me.
In terms of kind of looking back now, and you're maybe going through a portion of your life where you're like, I'm just achieving, I'm achieving, and now maybe going through that, now you're kind of twisting your story into, I want to thrive as well. Tell us the difference between the two and where you're at now in terms of maybe thriving versus achieving.
Absolutely, yeah. So in my book, it's not just my story, it's myself plus about 36 women who have had experiences. And a lot of it is that, you know, you can confuse busyness for productivity and impact. And when you're always on the go and you're always in flight or fight mode and all of that, you're releasing all these negative toxins into your body because that's negative stress. But when you focus on the things that you really love, that's when you get those dopamine fixes, right? And that's the good stuff. And so if you are always kind of just chasing the next thing and it's all about, you know, go, 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 without stepping back and saying, are these things of impact? Are these the things that energize me? Are these the things that nourish me?
I mean, but you're basically telling women maybe to walk away from their careers that are making them feel this way. No?
So absolutely not. So the pivot you make could be 365 degrees, or it could be 180, it could be 90 degrees. It's about, what is your why? All the women that I interviewed are still thriving. They're still successful, and if not more successful, because they're managing their time better. And I quote this podcast episode that I heard, and it really stuck with me. She said, if you look at the Dalai Lama, if you look at Mother Teresa, if you look at those people, they had the same amount of hours in their day as you do. But look at what they achieved, because they're making better decisions. So don't focus on, you have to be in everything and do everything yourself and be stuck in the weeds. Pull yourself back and think, what energizes me? Where can I make an impact? Right? And where can I allow others to maybe do some of the doing?
Absolutely. Well, you certainly made an impact on me, because I'm like, you are speaking directly to me. I'm like, oh my God, you've looked inside my soul. Where can people buy this book and follow you as well?
Absolutely. So it is available Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. So, you know, Books A Million. So local bookstores, national bookstores, and as of today, you can order online.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations is in order. What an incredible accomplishment. We didn't even get to talk about your professional background because that's a whole accomplishment as well, but such a short time for this interview. But thank you so much for sharing your story, and congratulations again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, more news straight ahead. We're going to be talking about a couple things happening here in the week, and we're going to be explaining what's happening with the weather. Stay tuned.
Fox 5.
Well, having your own executive assistant, that used to be a luxury reserved for CEOs, but now more and more everyday workers are hiring help. Fox 5's Jennifer Williams shows us why ordinary people are making some big boss moves.
I mean, I guess it's like something you dream of.
New Yorkers are always on the go and always running late. So it begs the question, have you ever thought of hiring a personal assistant?
No.
No, so sorry.
Yes, but I don't think I could afford it. When I'm like really busy, yeah, that would have helped a lot.
I would love to have a personal assistant. Like, that would be so awesome.
Once seen as a perk of being rich and famous, regular folks are dropping anywhere from $10 a month for an artificial intelligence assistant to several $1,000s a month for a part-time person.
You'll see more people using a virtual assistant for transactional type work.
Just like tell me what I need to achieve in a day and I can do that, but like having to manage my own tasks is so overwhelming. And then also, like, do you know how much boring stuff there is to do in the day? Like, I don't want to do laundry. Like, I have to do laundry and homework. God, my life is so hard.
But simply asking for help could be the hardest part for New Yorkers who are known to be very independent.
I would love that, but I also think it'd be a bit hard for me to give full control to someone else.
Money is one thing, but also, like, I think it would be too much work to train that person because I feel like it would take me as long to explain things than I could just, like, do them.
I feel like it could, though, be beneficial as a student. Why you're probably asking yourself that? It's because as a student, you're balancing school, extracurriculars, homework, this, that, cooking.
Cooking seemed to be a heavy lift for students. The ones we spoke to sounded like they needed a personal chef, a nutritionist, a shopper, or maybe just some home-cooked meals.
I always forget to like cook because like I'm like running from like class and like I have a job, so I'm like, and I get home and I'm like, shoot, I have to eat.
There is an app for that, or you can have your executive assistant go grab it. On the Upper East Side, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
A little help goes a long way. All right, we got more noon straight ahead. Stay with us. Well, beautiful shoes don't have to be hard on your feet. That is the spirit behind luxury shoe brand Marion Park. It was started in 2016 by podiatric surgeon turned shoe designer Marion Park. Park's company aims to fill a niche for women who want comfortable designer shoes. Joining me now here in studio today is Marion Park. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited about this segment, but first I have a little bone to pick with you. Why is it podiatric instead of podiatric?
Well, I think one's more of an adjective, right? Podiatry is the profession, and then you say you're a podiatric surgeon or a foot and ankle surgeon. It's just it's easier for people to say.
What an incredible background story you have of getting into that field of medicine, but then you're like, hold on. I'm sure you're looking at so many people's feet and you're like, it's probably your shoes that are really messing up the issue, correct?
Well, I would say it can go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be genetic. Sometimes, you know, we inherit a lot of things from our parents. Our body type is one of them, so our feet are part of that. And yeah, no, for me, it really started when a long time ago in my biomechanics class, I was learning how to treat people with high arches, hearing about the problems that they have. And I thought, gosh, those problems sound really similar to the problems women have when they're wearing high heels.
Interesting.
So I developed this insole. I have a patent, actually, 2 patents on this insole that is built into all of my shoes, whether it's a flat or a pump or a boot. This insole is sculpted and contoured to follow the natural curvature of the bottom of the foot. It molds to the foot over time, and it blends seamlessly with every design.
See this on camera because I know this is probably covering it, but that is what's kind of lifting this up here on your arch. So what happens when you wear shoes that don't have that arch support?
So what the arch support does, I mean, it's very literal. It's helping to keep the arch up, support the arch.
Yeah.
The foot is a very dynamic structure.
Absolutely.
Lots of small structures in the foot. The arch is designed for shock absorption. So it raises and lowers with impact and weight bearing. So by keeping the arch up, especially when you're standing, like you, if you're standing for a long period of time, chefs, hairdressers, you are collapsing or flexing that arch downward for an extended period of time, and that is stretching those small structures in the foot, and it leads to soreness and fatigue.
Okay,
So
well, the fact that you were like, okay, I'm going to go in straight to shoe line, and they're pricey, but I mean, explain to us why they are, because I know you can just buy shoes for, you know, $50 from a store down the street, but this is an investment.
Sure. Well, for me, I saw a void in my closet. I wanted a shoe brand that was inspiring and exciting and also comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that that was what was really missing in my closet. I was leaving parties early. I was distracted.
'Cause your feet are hurting.
Yeah.
I
so
know,
my
I know the
husband,
feeling.
I would walk out and he would say, "Oh, you're wearing those shoes. Like you're going to be a grump tonight." And
Well,
I didn't want to live that way.
You can't be a grump with all of these. You have so many different kinds, starting from boots. Walk us through the line real quick.
Yeah, so that was part of the concept too, is to be a complete collection. So to not just have a single silhouette, but really offer, you know, everything for a woman in all parts of her life, from day to night, casual to dress. So yeah, we've got some really beautiful tall boots this season. Yeah, I love those too.
This chocolate brown is amazing.
This is gorgeous. I love the height of this boot, because if you're wearing like a cropped pant or trouser or jeans, you know, sometimes a lower booty kind of hits at a funny spot.
It does.
You see your skin. This is nice because it goes a little further up the leg with a cropped pant.
I know you brought one in my size real fast. This is like a Cinderella moment because I'm completely flat-footed. I'll show you right now.
Is that one your size, Bianca?
I think is
that the 39?
39.
Okay.
Great. Here we go. Flat foot. Look at this. I could just, it's a pancake on the floor. Okay, so you're telling me that once we put it on right here, we can feel that.
So you should be able to feel how that arch, you know, hits your foot. What's happening?
Love that.
You're getting more surface area contact between the bottom of your foot and the shoe.
This
You're
is
able
amazing.
to redistribute your weight. Oh, don't.
It's just like not in the heels. Wait, where can people find the shoes and buy them?
So our website, Marion Park, and Park is spelled with an E, PARKE.com. We work with Saks, Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, and then several independent retailers across the U.S.
I mean, stunning shoes and even better feeling on your feet. Thank you so much for being here. Certainly appreciate it. One shoe to go. I said yes. They fit like a glove. We'll have more news straight ahead. All right, that is the show, but before we go, here's one last thing to leave you with. It was a classic show that taught kids the magic of books, and now, after 20 years, the classic PBS show Reading Rainbow making a comeback. Librarian and TikTok star Michael Threets will be taking over hosting duties from LeVar Burton in a new digital series. The new Reading Rainbow is set to debut this Saturday, October 4th, on the Kid Zuko YouTube channel. Very interesting. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. 25 words or less is up next.
And hi, everybody, here on this Tuesday, the last day of September, on our Newsroom Live broadcast as we look out at Newark Airport on a beautiful, like, August-like day. Now, we're gonna have more about that in a moment because we're getting this like extra bonus summer beach days, and I'm loving it. I hope you're loving it too. But we're in a newsroom with no windows, so we don't really get to see that today. So I can enjoy it through this view, and it's a very busy newsroom. So we have a lot of stories that we're working on at this hour, and that we'll be following throughout the day. We're going to get to a lot of them. I think there was a lot of commotion this morning. And here you're looking at our Statue of Liberty there across from Lower Manhattan over to the other side there. Can we pull up Joint Base McGuire, Brianna? Because that was really the big story earlier that we thought was a big story, and hopefully it'll come into view there. I think the chopper might be moving, but there was a lockdown at Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst over near the state capitol in New Jersey this morning. A lockdown order. There was a report of an active shooter. In a Facebook post, the base instructed those on campus shelter in place, so that all is breaking loose there. So the McGuire and Fort Dix sections of the base were given the all clear a short time later. The good news is there was no active shooter, but it was scary. It was scary. The incident happened at the base. It required emergency personnel, and when you had these live looks, there we go, now it's coming into view there. When you took the live looks and you saw all the commotion that was around the base, that was kind of the scary part there. You see all the fighter jets there. It's the largest military facility located about 20 miles, like we said, from the Capitol in Trenton, and about 40 minutes from Philadelphia. But lockdown lifted, the all clear is given, and thank goodness for that. All right, our other big story of the day. We've been following it since last week, and for a lot more than that. It's the casino votes, and another casino is set for approval in the Bronx. You might know. Oh, no, we're not going to the Bronx. Where am I going now? The Bronx was yesterday. We're going to Citi Field, where Steve Cohen's backed casino has been approved in one of the last votes before it goes to the final committee in December. Stephanie Bertini, you're like the casino girl, Stephanie. You on the casino floor today? No, you're not there. But you're going to tell us all about it because you break it down well. And the good news is if you like this part and you like a casino near Citi Field, it looks like it's going to move forward.
You know, it's interesting because I said, you know, I've been on this casino beat, but haven't been in any casinos because it's 3 downstate licenses that are up for grabs soon by the end of the year. Now, there's been a series of casino proposals on the table, 8 total. The vote today passed by a community advisory committee here in Queens. It moves forward Citi Field, home of the Mets, a site right beside it, as a potential spot. And it's backed by team owner Steve Cohen and the Hard Rock. So with this approval or passing, it now goes on to the state level. In total, there are 4 proposals that have been approved by different community advisory committees. There's another one in Queens. That bid was to expand a site already operating as a partial casino to a full casino, which would also require a license. There was also an approval for another site that was in the Bronx, and I was there yesterday. Yesterday on Coney Island, they said no. Overall, 4 approvals with the one today, the site right by Citi Field. It would be called the Metropolitan Park Casino. So 4 approvals overall and 4 denials. So now, as you all know, it moves on to the state level, Richard. So ultimately, it would be up to the New York State Gaming Commission to decide which casinos actually get the licenses to operate. Up to 3 will be given out by the end of the year. That's the expectation. Back to you.
Very much. That, you know, this is, it's so much for so many people, because you know that there's a lot of support in certain communities, there's a lot of opposition in other communities. We know the ones in Manhattan didn't go through, but it looks like the outer boroughs and parts of the suburbs will get that casino. And that's, I think, kind of what you're getting when you're out there and you're talking to people in the community, is that it feels like just more of the suburbs or the outer boroughs are more
for sure
into this.
For sure, Richard. For sure, Richard. Because, for example, there was the approval of expanding a casino in Yonkers, although we saw 3 Manhattan proposals totally shot down, including having a casino in Times Square. So that is kind of the trend that we're seeing. Of course, there's more to follow here. Now we have to see what happens at the state level. Look, in some communities, there's real pushback. There's the argument, for example, on Coney Island, that a big casino would take business away from the small mom and pop shops still operating. The other question is, you know, you put a casino in a place where there isn't a lot of financial affluence. So is that casino for local people or for people that'll be coming in? Concern that came up in the Bronx, for example, was, look, we already have a high rate of asthma. So increased traffic to the area there. The argument was against it, which ultimately it was approved there in the Bronx. But the argument was, you know, it's just going to increase traffic and create other quality of life issues. So yes, we've heard a lot of dialogue for and against. Bottom line, 3 downstate casino licenses expected to be given out by the end of the year. 4 proposed sites here in our area approved, 4 denied as of today, Richard.
Stephanie, a lot to follow, and I will tell you this, and to our viewers, whoever's with us right now, is that on the day that you mentioned Yonkers, on the day that proposed casino was going to take the next step and expand to MGM Empire City Casino, someone hit a jackpot on the Wheel of Fortune slot machine for $3 million. And he was a local guy, too. The casino announced that. So.
Really?
Yes. So
we'll see.
You never know. It's the largest jackpot in the casino's history.
You never know.
On the day that it was approved. What are the odds? Thank you, Stephanie, for following all that.
Wow.
We have a lot more to talk to you about,
Richard.
including how much summer we're going to get over the next few days. I think we're going to take a little break, but then it's going to come back. So Audrey's going to join us next, and we have a lot more. Okay, we're back here on Newsroom Live, and look who's joining me now.
Hello,
Hi,
Richard.
Audrey. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You are here to deliver some good news.
Yes.
You know, even better news is
Tell
the
me.
tropics, because everybody thought that Imelda was coming to the Carolinas, right?
Correct.
And then was it? See, because I follow my stuff.
You-
Umberto
Yes.
brought it out with him.
It kind of pulled it. Yes,
pulled
it
it,
pulled
right?
it away from the Carolinas. Yes. Now they did
They
get
got
rain in
lucky.
the Carolinas. However, it was definitely not as bad as they first anticipated.
Yeah,
early on.
because I saw all the reporters going down there,
Right.
and just getting ready that
Yes.
this was going to be a major
They've been
hit.
waiting. They've been waiting and
I
waiting
know.
and waiting.
I know, but you know what? The good we don't want them to hit.
No,
so
we
let's
don't. Yeah.
let's keep it quiet. We got another
Interesting-
month to go of
Yeah,
hurricane
interestingly
season.
enough,
right?
we just had the year anniversary of Helene, which did wreak
Yes.
havoc in the Carolinas. So those folks were really nervous
They
when
were
we saw the
thinking that.
models like over a week ago. But everything's much better now.
That's a good news. And good news.
Unfortunately, though, Bermuda though is next on the target list. So that's
I
something.
saw that, but is it going to directly hit Bermuda?
Well, it looks like Imelda might. Yes. and
oh
it's
wow,
gonna
I thought
increase-
it was going around it.
Right. Well, Humberto is, and Erin
Yeah.
did too earlier this season. So Bermuda's
Okay.
had some good luck, but now it looks like Imelda's headed right for it as a Category 2 storm. It may, the eye may move just the left or right, but either way, it's definitely going to get a lot of wind and rain and high surf.
Oof.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's see how that works out there.
All right. Well, fingers crossed. Our prayers for the people, the great people of Bermuda. Now, we have good news in our weather department,
Yes,
right?
we do. Yes. Okay. So the
Can
clouds.
it get any better?
I don't know, really. I mean, this is really great weather.
I know.
And this week, we're actually going to get a little taste for everyone because we're going to have summer warmth and we're going to have the fall chill. But first, let's talk
Yeah.
about the cloud cover that you just saw. Actually, we're going to go to we're going. All right.
We'll go back.
We're going back to
Let's
that.
go. Don't get to those
okay, let's
leaves
go
yet.
ahead. Okay, we're going to start with the cloud cover because this has been going on since yesterday. And what this
Yeah.
is, this is actually the northern fringe of Imelda, like
Oh,
the
it
cloud
is.
cover. Right, so the showers we see down across southern New Jersey, actually it was more likely yesterday, mid-Atlantic rain, that's part of that. However, the clouds are going to erode away because those two storms are moving out towards Bermuda, out in the Atlantic, and therefore the clouds will go away from us. We're going to break into sunshine before it sets later tonight. And Richard, I mean, we go off to the races after this. It is going to be dry as a bone all the way through
Oh, boy.
the weekend. Yeah.
Then we're going to hear about the droughts.
We are. We
Yeah,
actually are in a
we're in a
moderate
drought,
drought.
right?
We are. Okay, here's a look at the two storms right now.
Yeah.
Closer to Florida, that's Imelda. That's where we're seeing the cloud cover. You
Okay.
see that stretching all the way up to our area. Then we have Umberto, which is actually, it was a Cat 5 actually on Saturday.
I know, I saw
I know, isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Now it's a Cat 1, and it's expected to quickly diminish as we go into the next like 24
Is that
to
just
40
because
hours.
of the track it's taking, or the cooler water temperatures when it
Yeah,
gets
it's losing
north?
its punch.
Okay.
It's definitely losing its punch. Now, here's our big story for tomorrow. Tonight's lows, check this out, 40s to the northwest, 50s in the city and Long Island. Tomorrow's highs only in the 60s. I mean, that's fall weather here. We're going,
That's nice. We got a little taste of it, but
Right.
then bring back the 80s.
Right, so for everyone that's waiting for the chill for the fall season, you're definitely going to experience
gonna
it
come.
tomorrow. Here's a look at the highs. We're in the upper 60s. I know it doesn't seem that cool. However, there's going to be gusty winds at 25 miles per hour, so that's going to add to the chill. Definitely need a jacket tomorrow. I'm trying to think, where are my sweaters? Because I don't know.
I know.
where
I
any
didn't.
of that
I didn't
is.
take them out
No,
yet.
I have
Still
no idea.
leaving T-shirts in the drawer.
No idea. Well, you're still going to need them because as we get into the weekend, here we are, the 7-day.
Yes.
There we are, 77 by Saturday. Sunday, we're back near 80 degrees. Nice day again on Monday.
It says 80 underneath us there.
It does, yes. Trust us, we do. It's going to be a
Yes.
spectacular weekend. Bone dry, as I mentioned, right through Monday. We're not expecting any rain, not a rain drop, just plenty of sunshine. I mean, September was spectacular. I mean, now we're going into October with this great weather too.
Remember
so.
Halloween last year was like 80.
That's right.
So
it
we
was.
could
squeeze
hang
it
on
out.
to
We'll have
it.
to wait and see.
All right. You mentioned fall. We're getting a little taste of it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think because of the Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur on Thursday,
Correct.
a lot of kids may be off from school.
That's
And
true.
Thursday could be a pumpkin picking day, apple picking.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
When you go north of the city into near where I live in the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot of the foliage. But there's a little something different happening this year with the fall leaves.
Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday. We talked about it again today. Because of the unusually warm weather and the this dry patch we've been in, we're running about 7 inches and a 7-inch deficit in Central Park for rainfall for the year.
Oh, wow.
And so that's going to affect the vibrant colors. Now here we're looking at video of years past, right? Because this is not
this
right
is not
now.
live.
No, but this is right. It says
No, it says
Newsroom live,
that.
but it's not live. However, this is what we expect to see, right, in and around the tri-state
Yeah,
area.
eventually.
Now, this could possibly not happen because
Really?
because warm weather. Well, first of all, the colors begin to change when we start seeing shorter days, meaning less daylight, and cooler temperatures. We haven't been experiencing that. and a lack of rain also is kind of shutting down the chlorophyll functioning of leaves, because that's where we get the green color. And when that slowly starts to recede or kind of shut down for the winter, that's when we start to see the green colors kind of fade away and the pigment of the reds and oranges starts to come through, and that's when we get all our fall colors and vibrant colors. But the leaves need to be in a healthy state.
Yeah.
So does the chlorophyll process. However, now because we've been dry and warm, that is not happening. So it's expected that that whole process is going to shut down rather rapidly, which won't give the leaves a chance to actually turn into those vibrant reds and oranges that we usually see. They're probably going to go quickly right to brown, curl up and fall off. So if we do get any vibrant colors, it'll be very short-lived, unfortunately. And some of the colors actually may be muted because of this dry and
there are folks who come from all different parts of the country to the Northeast to see the fall foliage. That's what a lot of the parts of the North are known for.
Yeah, and we
so
still have a
that's
ways to go. It is. We still have a ways to go. Right now, if you do want to see some color, there is some color happening up north, further, right around, let's say, I want to say Orange County, Putnam County. I saw a foliage map earlier.
Go way up.
Right. You have to go north of the city, well north of the city right now. However, we're still only, October starts tomorrow. So
I know, it's not really peak. Far from peak, right?
Right, because we peak here in the city roughly like the first weekend of November. I mean, usually when the marathon is running, that's when I notice.
So we may not see that this year, is what you're saying.
We may not see it as vibrant.
I'm going to hold you to that, Audrey.
And the colorful season may be short-lived. That's what we're worried about. So we may get a peak of it quickly, and when you see it, go get your pictures.
We have a comment question.
Yes. Oh, we have a comment?
Yes.
For Audrey?
We get questions?
Good.
Can you trust the Central Park foliage tracker?
Oh,
do you use that?
I don't know.
I never even heard of that.
Foliage tracker?
There is a Central Park foliage tracker?
Foliage tracker, and it tracks the leaves that are changing and turning in Central Park according to the area.
No, you could trust Audrey.
That's true.
Not the Central Park foliage tracker.
Honestly, I look at
She's the expert on the leaves and everything else.
I look at the I Love New York and Explore Fall websites and apps. So I'm going to check out the Central Park leaf tracker.
I know.
Because, I mean, they are right there in Central Park, so they probably would know their leaf conditions better than anyone.
Can we ask that person what they're seeing?
You can ask them, and I'll see if they.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us what
we want to know.
What is the app reporting?
It's interesting.
Yes.
Well,
there have been some color change. I'm seeing the leaves change colors in Central Park. It's not vibrant, but I do see some color change.
Yeah, I've seen some slight, like a little yellow, maybe.
Yeah, like muted. Again, I think the colors may be muted this
season. We got
season.
time. We'll check back in mid-November.
Mid-October.
Mid-October.
Like 2 more weeks.
And we'll see. But
well, thank you for the suggestion. I'm going to check out that.
Now
app.
we're going to all look up the Central Park foliage tracker. Right. But Audrey's the real tracker.
Thank you.
I think we'll come back and we're going to talk a little Yankees, and I'm just going to talk a little bit to the Mets fans who haunted me.
Crushing.
When Juan Soto. Hey everybody, welcome back to Newsroom Live, and if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing my Yankee blue today because it is Game 1 of the American League Wild Card Series, the best of 3 at Yankee Stadium. Yankees have home field advantage, and I will break this down for you because, you know, it's always my dream to kind of be like a little sportscaster. Just when it comes to baseball, I can't do anything else. But I can tell you that this is from the Yankees workout day yesterday before they host the Boston Red Sox tonight. So it's their division rival in the wild card series. I mean, this is what baseball is all about. And those 162 games all year long mean nothing now, because now it's all about these next 3 games. It's one game at a time. So the first team, Yankees or the Red Sox, to win 2 out of 3 will advance to the American League Division Series. And the division winner is Toronto, the Blue Jays, who have home field advantage. So if, and let's cross our fingers, Yankees in the regular season were the better team, but if the Yankees beat the Red Sox in this series, let's say it goes till Thursday, they will fly to Toronto to open up the division series, which is on Fox, I believe, on Saturday night. That's when it starts. But these games are 6:08 at the stadium. You know, Audrey was talking about how cool it's going to be tonight. So it seems like it's 80 degrees. It's really warm today, and you're going to dress in the T-shirts like you see the Yankees have there. But bring the layers, because you'll need it once first pitch comes along and it gets into the later hours. And those playoff games can be long. So we say go Yankees, and I say that because I'm hoping they're going to win. I will say, you know, this as a Yankee fan, losing Juan Soto last year was tough, and I remember right before Christmas when he signed with the Mets, and it was devastating for so many fans. And the biggest thing this year was watching the Mets collapse with Juan Soto on their team. So I won't say that I'm gleeful, but I will say that you know, it is what it is, and it's not always signing the biggest star and getting the biggest money in the payroll, because the Yankees saved that money and were able to get a lot of position players and some clutch hitters and good pitching, and they're in the playoffs this year, and the Mets are not. So it's a little lesson, I guess, to be learned. Mets with the second biggest payroll in the league, and they're sitting home today. So anyway. That's all I'll say about that, Brianna, okay? Now we'll go to the government shutdown. This is also very serious, because now it's about 10 and a half hours. Well, this can't be. Oh, yeah, this is just, I thought that was a live look. With Democratic and Republican congressional leaders in the scramble to avoid that shutdown. The Associated Press did report that the Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer basically clashed this morning, because there's a lot of tension over this. And Schumer has been accusing Republicans of what he says, I'm quoting now, trying to bully us, and said he did not come to me once, meaning Thune, and the bill is acceptable. Schumer, along with Hakeem Jeffries, met with the president yesterday. They couldn't come to any agreement. It looks like it's headed for a shutdown unless some deal can come through. At the 11th hour, sometimes that does happen. They can sometimes extend, but the deadline is 11:59 tonight. We'll, of course, follow it and have the latest for you on there. Should we talk about the Wonder Wheel announcement next? Maybe give you some excitement on Coney Island. Dino's Wonder Wheel in Coney Island is now being added to the New York State Historic Business Preservation Registry. And that registry honors businesses that have operated in the state for more than 50 years. And if you haven't rode this thing, it's a lot of fun. The Wonder Wheel is already designated as a New York City landmark, which you may know, and it's on the National Register of Historic Places. Built back in 1920, it stands 150 feet tall and operated more than 35 million rides since it opened. I don't believe Coney Island is open anymore for the season, but when it returns, you'll have that as another notch in its belt, and it's a wheel when you join that next time. What can we go to next? Can we do Jody's story? I think we should show them Jody's story because it's an inspirational story. A neck brace and a scar. That's how I'll start it. There's a 17-year-old senior from Smithtown, Out on Long Island, who was swimming with friends at Gilgo Beach this summer when he dove into a wave. He hit the sand and fractured his C4 vertebrae. He was temporarily paralyzed, and it was a summer day that nearly ended his life. But he has a positive outlook on life. So our Jody Goldberg, who finds these wonderful, uplifting stories, has this one for us.
Brace and a scar. 17-year-old Connor DeBow wears the reminders of a summer day that nearly ended his life.
I remember going in, having fun, dove in, didn't think anything of it, and then boom, right there.
The senior from Smithtown was swimming with friends at Gilgo Beach when he dove into a wave. He hit the sand and fractured his C4 vertebrae. He was temporarily paralyzed.
As soon as I hit the water, I tried moving. I'm like, oh my God, this couldn't budge at all.
Lifeguards were off duty, but his friends weren't.
He was face up, but his face was like bright red, and I don't think he could breathe for a little bit either. So we just got him up, and he was just like dead weight.
They dragged Connor to shore where police and paramedics took over.
The last thing I heard was, I'm paralyzed, I can't move, like in the water. Then that's when we knew, like, to just like walk in and get him out of the water.
Doctors fused his spine with 3 screws. He spent a week in the hospital. Now it's months of physical therapy and gratitude that grows by the day.
I'm thankful every day.
Connor didn't start his senior year the way he had hoped. He still can't drive and has limited use of his left hand. But he's here, and doctors say it's a miracle.
Hockey's always been Connor's life. He's on the bench for now, but hopes to return to it soon. For now, this is his motto.
What your mind can believe, your body can achieve.
Pain turned into a reminder of resilience. When the waves knock you down, you can get back up again. In Smithtown, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
And Connor is counting his blessings. What a story. Before we go, just want to let everybody know about the MTA price hike, which we kind of knew was going to happen. The board voted to approve proposed fare hike. Subway and bus fare will go up 10 cents to $3 beginning January 4th of the new year. And the 7-day unlimited subway and bus passes are going to be capped at $35. Metro cards are no longer available for sale after the 31st of this year. Just to keep in mind, we kind of knew that was coming. The MTA board voting to approve the fare hikes on subway and bus fares this morning. All right, so the big story of the day is obviously the Yankees, because that's what anybody cares about here in New York. So we'll look forward to that game tonight. 6:08 is the first pitch. Bundle up if you're going to the stadium. The other big news is the bonus summer days that we're getting. We're going to have a little taste of fall on Wednesday and Thursday before we jump back to near 80 degrees for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the best part about all that is that there's no rain in the forecast. So it is a great Tuesday and a great end to our September. We'll see you back here on Newsroom Live later this evening. And then tonight we have a lot of shows. I'm on at 4 o'clock today, so watch me here. And, right, they can watch me on here. And then on television, too, if you're old like me. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and a great week.
Have a seat at my table. To accomplish this, I need your help. I know you and your members are working nonstop, and I sincerely appreciate it. I really appreciate the constant work you put in, knowing how much work you put in over the week. So to go to the CLCs on the weekends and see everybody there really means a lot to me. So I just want to take a final moment to thank all of you for your constant and consistent support. You've always had my back, and I will commit to you again. I'll always have yours. Thanks.
All right, just listening in there to a potentially next governor there of New Jersey. So talking on the campaign trail, if this is going to be a heated race, the polls very tight for that one. I'm Andy Mack. We're back after this.